Hello, my name is Brandon Kight. I go to First Baptist Church in Mount Carmel, Illinois, and I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you how Jesus changed my life. My story starts when I was a child. I grew up in a Christian home. We were in at church every Sunday growing up, and that was through my 18th year, through high school. And despite having done that, I still never knew the true gospel, never understood that what Jesus did on the cross for my sins. Um, During middle school years, I remember being at a retreat, and it appeared that I gave my life to the Lord then. I answered to the altar call, but I would say that that was more of an emotional experience. Looking back now, there was really very little fruit in my life or any change in my life at all, except for maybe just shortly after. From that point on, I still continued to do everything that I would normally do, and really just chased after all my own happiness and wanted to be my own king, and did not want to follow God's lordship. This was very evident in high school as I began to seek happiness in other things, whether it be sports or girls or alcohol, drugs, you name it. I was just sort of chasing after the next best thing that I could fill my heart with to make me happy. But ultimately, none of those things made me happy. I never found peace or satisfaction that lasted. Throughout college, I continued to do the same things. And it wasn't until I started dating my wife, now my wife. At the time, she was my girlfriend. When I started dating her, I remember debating with her that God did not exist, and that I didn't believe in any of it. And I don't know if I said that because that was really the way I felt, or if it was just that I didn't want to have to answer to anything or anyone, or have God be the king of my life, because I wanted that for myself. I recall shortly after we got married, we started going to a Bible study, and I only went really because there were guys there, and we were 5 hours away from home and any friends that we knew, and I really just wanted some guys that I could talk to, just to get out of the apartment for a while. But God had other plans for me, and He had me there for a specific purpose. And I remember early on in that Bible study, just a few months in, we were going through a book, and I remember one chapter that was about the holiness of God and just His perfect holiness, and then another chapter that was on the sinfulness of man and the complete depravity of man. And it was at that point on a balcony in Zion, Illinois, that God broke me at that moment when I realized there was no reconciliation between His holiness and my sinfulness. There was no way that could be made right, except for Christ, except for what Jesus did on the cross, that He paid for all my sins, and that now my sinfulness could be looked at as righteousness for what He did on the cross. And that changed everything. Like I said, I was just broken in that moment. I remember weeping bitterly for quite a while there, and my life dramatically changed. I was not seeking after my own happiness by way of alcohol or drugs or whatever else. Now there were still other sins in my life, and there still are, and I will be battling sin in my life, as will all humans, until we're glorified with Christ at the end. But because of what Jesus did for me, because of the Holy Spirit in me, I'm able to put sins to death. I'm able to seek after what He wants for my life and not what I want for my life. And I just urge all of you now during this time, as there's people worried about COVID-19 and just all the other worries in life, all the other anxieties that come. And look, I was anxious about many things in my life, and really struggled with that. But when I realized that the worst thing that could ever happen to me, the separation from God for eternity, that was paid for by Jesus on the cross, it really put everything else into perspective, and continues to do that for me. And so I don't worry about death. I don't worry about these things the way I would have before, because I know that when I die, I will be with Christ and with God for eternity. And this is a very short testimony that I've given here. There are a lot of details, a lot of things I could go into, and I would love to share more with anyone who's interested or has any questions. You can email me at Kight, that's KIGHT .brandon@gmail.com. Or any of you that already know me and you have my contact, my cell phone number, please feel free to call or text. I would love to talk more about this. I would love to answer any questions you may have. I would love to share the gospel to you and what Jesus did in my life. Thank you so much. Have a good day.